You can see my screen. Yeah. Okay. So I am presently working in Moog India Technology Center, and I'm a certified LabVIEW developer. And I belong to Kolkata, but for work I am staying in Bangalore and working from here. So presently I have been given the responsibility to handle the East LUG, which is the LUG of Kolkata and Eastern region, and also the Central India, like the Indian Lab User Group, which is the original group. So I am part of this group from the day one, and then like I have been along with the other coordinators. Now, this responsibility, it's a really good challenge for me, and I hope I'll be doing justice to this. So, with this, let us move ahead with our presentation. I'll like to start with the topic first. So the topic is to communicate to the embedded processors, like from the lab view, how you can communicate to the processors using SPI, I2C, this kind of protocols. So you see, LabVIEW gives you the communication protocols like TCP, UDP, serial as a native protocol, and you can find this palette inside LabVIEW block diagram. And then you can communicate using these protocols to other systems. Now, these are the standard protocols used in many high-end systems, and you can communicate easily. And like many of you have been using this since years. So, what about communicating to some microcontrollers, which is like a very small scale system where the memory and other options are very less. So you cannot generally use this TCP and UDP, this kind of protocols. So sometimes the stack also for that will not be available. So generally they will give the stack for I2C and SPI. So they will be communicating, the microcontrollers will be communicating and sending data through this kind of interfaces. So how you can communicate using LabVIEW to these devices, and also where you have like memory is a constraint, and then the programming constraint, and then also the speed must be higher. So like SPI, 30 megahertz, it can work. So that way it will be like a very good challenge for you to communicate to this kind of systems from directly from LabVIEW and get the data. So, uh, just before going into further, we'll just have a basic idea what is I2C. It is like a serial protocol over two wires. So, like few people say I2C, few people say I square C. It's just the same. So there is a serial clock line and one data line, and then based on the clock you synchronize two devices, one is master, one is slave, and then you communicate to the devices, in between the devices. So then next protocol is SPI. So this is also synchronous communication where you share a serial clock, and then there is two different lines, MOSI and MISO. So MOSI stands for master out, slave in, and MISO stands for master in, slave out. So using two different lines in this one, two different data lines, so it makes sure that you can transmit and receive the data at the same time. So it makes full duplex communication. And also there is a separate line for chip select. So the master selects different slaves based on this chip select. So typically selecting different slaves will make a time division multiplexing for different slaves to get the data, transmit and receive the data. So basically at the same instant you cannot receive and transmit from all the devices. You need to select the device, like select the slave device, and then you need to transmit or receive. So this is how the SPI works. So generally you don't get a library in LabVIEW for SPI and I2C. So here is the solution for the same. So FTDI is a company which is called Future Technology Devices International. So they are giving us hardware which can be connected to your USB and which can be directly connected to the SPI I2C bus to get and receive the data. So this is a really good module which also has a inbuilt EEPROM where you can store some data as well based on your device. So this kind of device, suppose you have you are making suppose you are making your own device or hardware where the microcontroller is doing some task and you want to get the data inside your LabVIEW from the microcontroller. So you can put this FTDI in your device, and then the I2C or the SPI you can connect to your microcontroller. You can create that bus inside, and then this USB will enable you to communicate to the microcontroller directly from LabVIEW. So not only LabVIEW, any other programming language like C, C++, or others you can use. So there is a very good driver support for this particular hardware. So the FTDI provides the driver for this particular hardware as D2XX driver. So there is a DLL. So that DLL you can use it inside your LabVIEW. So the very good thing is that we have lot of supports for this particular inside in the FTDI website as well as in the NI website as well. So this using these drivers you will be able to directly communicate to the device, and you will be able to talk to the device easily. So how this works is like this driver will be working on the Windows environment. So this will help you to detect your device, and then once you are detecting once your device is detected, you can just open the device communication like the way you use any hardware from your mm, from your LabVIEW. So like you use your data acquisition cards from NI. So you open the reference, you read and write the data, and you just close the reference. So it will be exactly similar to that. So that DLL provides this kind of functions to you. And also the good thing is that like when I was trying to figure out how this works and all, so I found out that a lot of people have already done this. Like they have created the DLL calls, so all the available VIs are there, like you can use them as a simple sub VI. So you just need to have the DLL, you can use that sub VI. So all the things whatever required for the DLL call has been configured really well, and that is very well used inside LabVIEW. Along with that, there is one more higher level DLL, which is libMPSSE, that is multi-protocol synchronous serial engine. So this helps you to directly use the SPI and I2C libraries and JTAG libraries. So any user application can call this libMPSSE DLL. So this DLL will internally use that same D2XX driver, and then using that USB bus driver, your protocol will be used inside your hardware. So when I'll be giving the demo in the later part, so I'll be using this libMPSSE, so which will help me to use the SPI protocol inside my device. So also I was talking about the EEPROM inside the device. So you can store some of the data inside the EEPROM, like your product description, your product serial number, and so on. So these kind of informations which will be really required for you for creating a device, so that will be available inside this EEPROM. So once you connect to this device, then you can read this EEPROM from LabVIEW, and it helps you to find out what is the serial number of the device, what is the maybe what is the firmware version, and all those things. You can store it in the EEPROM and you can read it. So this one simple utility they provide, mprog. This is like a simple software you can see. So from here you can configure And then also you can configure from LabVIEW as well, the EEPROM you can set, and then what you can do is you can then read back the same information from LabVIEW. So this is also a really great utility. FTDI 2232H is what I am using. So as you can see in the mprog window, there are other modules as well, but like I didn't have that, so I had whatever this device FTDI 2232H. So that one I am using, and I am going forward with that. So this is a simple LabVIEW code which helps you to communicate to your SPI hardware and read and write data, and like you have to open the channel. It is simple. You can see you have to open the channel, you have to get the status, and then once your communication is established, you set up the communication, and then you write the data and you read back the data. And this read and write you can do anyway. You can do it inside a loop and it works continuously, and then once your work is over, you can close the device. So I have tried with 1.5 megahertz at times reading the data, and I have acquired sine wave which was being acquired by a microcontroller, and it was acquiring the microcontroller was acquiring using a ADC. It was using a sine wave, and I have acquired and I have seen really good result via this FTDI. So it can read the packets at once, and it can give it to you. Then you can like parse the packet and get your data ready. So here in this example, it is reading as like a string. You can read it as a byte array. So all those options are available. You can just create your program that way. So even this whatever the VI you can see here, this VIs are also available in internet. So you know Lava group, as you all are familiar with LabVIEW, so you must be familiar with the group called Lava. So there in the Lava group, this VIs are also available. So you can just search in internet in Lava FTDI, and then you can get these VIs. So some really great person have done some lot of work and given for us to use this. So it's time for a demo. I'll not be giving an online demo. It will be it is a recorded demo I'll be showing. So what I have been doing is like I have connected the MOSI and MISO in a loop back, and using the FTDI 2232H, I am connecting that, and then whatever the data I am writing, that same data I will be receiving back in MISO. So this is the device you can see. So the FTDI I have connected using a simple interface which is a USB, and then I have made some connections to make it like the bus powered. So there are two options to give the power to this device. You can connect like an external power, or you can connect the USB bus you have connected with your USB, right? So that same USB bus power you can give it to the device to switch on. So that's what I have been doing. So I have given a loop back. You can see this brown color. So this brown color wire is the power wire I have used. So the same wire which is getting the power from the USB bus voltage, I have given to the device power, and I have connected. Then I have given the power lines to the input lines, and then this is the loop back connection. I have used this black and white, this one. So MOSI and MISO. So this is what I have connected, and then I went to the LabVIEW, and then this is the same program what I was showing you. So just I ran this. So first it will open the two number of channels, it will open a reference, it will write the data and read the same data. I'll just maybe I'll just run it one more time. You can see that I am writing a string called capital A, capital A. So that same string will be received in the data back. So you can see this same string, it is received back, and then I close the device. So this is the simple way you can communicate. So you can communicate with your other devices which are using I2C and SPI. uh, you can use this device from directly from LabVIEW, and you can use it to extend the capability of LabVIEW. So these are the references. You can see all these links which will be really helpful for you. It has helped me a lot, like the libmpsac soft driver, and then FTDI 2232H product details, and then the D2XX driver, and then the LabVIEW examples. Then I have shown the lava example here. So the lava example you can see from here. Some of the infos about I2C and SPI you can find it over here. So this is all about the references I have used from. Now time for questions. If you have any questions regarding this, you can go ahead, please.